Okay, so I recorded. Sorry, let me think. I recorded a video before this one, just short like 2 minutes. So I released that. So basically, I was thinking, for my last video, that what was I going to say on the videos. And personally, for me, like Irapada is take on the video. It keeps playing in my head. It keeps playing in my head. It keeps playing in my head because I asked him for feedback, and he was like videos like videos have more retention, keeps you retained, and with the visuals and everything. And I might not personally do visuals, honestly. I might just do like text or whatever, just emphasis text and everything. But his own take on it just keeps playing in my head. Like, just record anything. It doesn't have to be crazy. Just record anything as long as it's video. So I've been thinking about it, like just record anything as long as the video. Just record anything as long as it's video. I mean, there will be vlogs because I have some vlogs I've done. As like I said, have I did I say it? Did I write it? I can't even remember. I said this somewhere, maybe I wrote it, maybe I recorded a podcast, maybe it was a video. That I'm too in the moment to do a vlog. Like, let's say now I'm somewhere, I'm experiencing something, and like half of it has already gone before I remember that. I'm too in the moment to be like, oh shit, let me pick up my phone and start videoing and start vlogging. So the vlogs is more of like I have to stress myself to do it. So if you see a vlog, then if you see a vlog, but most of the videos you might see might just be me and you talking, one-on-one conversations, or maybe there's something important that I want to share. So I have a podcast book. I mean, of course, this is the book that I've been using to record. So if I check my, let me scroll it for you. So the first episode of my podcast, because it's I don't know if you can see it, but then you know what I wrote up here? Speak free, speak freely and calm. So that was just a reminder to myself, like, okay, like you got this, you got this. So also I had like series I wanted to do. I had like I'm coming. I had the mind series, yeah, then I had like societal issues series, and I had reality check. I had the emotional series, I had currents of the society. Although I could have followed up with those series, I just felt like I don't know, it just morphed into like pure focus. So pure focus is mainly almost everything. Pure focus, then we have the art. The art is more of like standard rules or like the art of doing something. So you have like rules to follow. Pure focus is just mainly focusing on achieving your goals. Then we have the normal one, and then we have reality check. I'm very sure by the time you watch this video, I should have released the reality check episode. By the time, I hope so. So we have reality check, then we have unfiltered conversations. That one is just random discussions with people, unfiltered actually. And one, two, three, four. I think that's it. I just saw the series. I can't even remember honestly. So I mean, I wrote this at the beginning of when I wanted to do my podcast. This would have been like around May, 6th of May 2022 or September. Because I know I recorded the first episode September, but the intro was May. 6th of May or something. Something like that. Sha. So there are some topics that I did not record. So like there are some here about episode one, episode three, episode four. Okay, this ones I recorded, the important things I need to know about podcast. Then there were some like how relationships can affect your life. I didn't record those. I didn't record those actually, but you know what? I'm going to do separate videos for that. So how relationships can affect your life, and then how to make the best of relationship. So those two I'll record as videos, and then I'll probably turn into like a podcast episode, probably. So then I have reality check. I did that one. I did currency of the society. How money is important in reality. I couldn't record it because at that time I wasn't. I couldn't record it because at that time I wasn't making money. So to be unfair to record something I don't know about. So I still don't have that kind of cash to be talking about money. So until I get that kind of bag, then I guess I'll record about money. So I had like some. I think this was the time where I was having like droughts, and then I had to like start using ChatGPT for. Can you imagine? I used ChatGPT to get like some scripts, but it wasn't really my thing. So I just didn't record them. Actually, I just didn't record them. and then we now have some shorts here, and then this is what I wanted to talk about today. Why anger is the worst emotion. The reason why I didn't record is because I just didn't have a train of thought for it. So right now, I read this before I wanted to come up here, of course. So I'm not going to try my best. Try my best. So it's like the topic here is why anger is the worst emotion, but it's the best motivator. Is anger the best motivator? That's debatable, but I wrote it there actually. So the first question we should ask is, why are you angry? What are you so angry about? So when I was younger, I used to have anger issues. I remember this day go. I was soaking tick cocoa pops. So like when I remember tick it was like the Milo and the milk is very, very thick. Like very, 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 very thick. And if you went to Boduna House, you probably know it. And I was soaking it one day, and then people were just entering my room, and I was like, I was getting angry, and then one person just entered, and I just vexed, and I threw the whole stuff away. I went outside and I poured the cocoa pops away. And he was looking at me, was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? What's the problem, bro? And I remember that day vividly because that was one of the days where I realized that anger issues is not really it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to have anger issues. It's not a good thing to just be angry for no reason or for stupid reasons or for reasons that you can control and not flip out. So from that day, I decided that okay, I want to take my issues of anger very seriously. And right now, I don't have anger issues right now. Although I still get angry, I don't have anger issues right now. And the main idea was that why are you angry? Of course, there are reasons to be angry, but there are also reasons to control your anger. You know, it's more of like thinking before you act. There's some things that you would do when you're angry that when you look back at it, like I always keep looking back at that day, like it was weird. Why did I throw away Cocoa Pops? Because people were entering my room like, and I was angry and I was like, I wanted to make a statement or something. So I don't know the whole the backstory to that one. And that's why I didn't record this episode because I wasn't too sure what I was going to say. But I'm not going to say it anyway because this has been like I've written this like probably last year, beginning of last year or ending of 2022. So I mean that's it there. And our anger is so productive, so unproductive. I mean, let me just give my own opinion and I will skip some parts of the script. So I personally for me I feel emotions are like a hindrance to logical thinking. So if you're the kind of guy that I mean most men, let me say men in general. So men have to make decisions on a day-to-day basis. I mean women make decisions too, right? But as a man, I'm just going to talk about men, right? So as a guy, you need to have certain level of logical reasoning to approach some certain situations. And when emotions are in play, that level of emotional or logical reasoning diminishes. So the more emotional you are, the less you think. I hope I don't want to make any inferences here on gender or whatever. But but the more emotional you are, the less thoughtful you are too. So anger in itself is a bad emotion, but emotions in general are like a hindrance to logical thinking. And if you're a kind of guy that needs logical thinking, or if you're in a situation, it doesn't just cut it. And that's why I wrote something like getting angry elevates tension. Because let's imagine we're in a very weird situation and then someone is getting angry. You're getting tense too, like it's not comfortable. And that's why I wrote in it's the same thing with the other shot that I recorded. I think this is one of my most popular episodes, The Art of Being Calm. Yeah, this is one of my most I think it's probably my top five, my top three self, probably, yeah. The Art of Being Calm. So I talked about how being calm calms everybody down. So let's say now we're in a very tense situation and then I'm calm about it, you know, I'm like, you know what, we're all going to be fine. And it signals to you that yeah, we're all going to be fine. You're going to be calm about it too. And it's just like with anger. Anger is like a heightened emotion. And then if we're all tense, or if we're all calm or someone is angry, you're going to feel tension in the air. So I mean, anger is a bad emotion, depending on who you're talking to. Depending on who you're talking to. And I said is a good motivator too, depending on how you apply that anger. So you're angry about your current situation in life. You want to push that P, and you go and walk. You pour those anger into reasonable actions, and that's good. That is a good motivator. You're angry about this situation, and you want to do something about it. But then when you now go into anger as a destructive mechanism, as like sabotaging relationships or saying things you're supposed to think about first before saying. So that one is there. You need to also make sure that your anger is in check. I mean, as a guy, you need to make sure your anger is check. As a person in general, let me know this as a guy. You need to make sure your anger is in check. Your emotions are in check. You need to make sure your emotions are in check. So, uh, blah 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 blah. Be slow to react. So if you want to reduce your anger issues, personally for me, I had anger issues, right? And one way I worked on it was being slow to react. So somebody slaps me, right? Somebody slaps you immediately, you're like, you're back at it, you're reacting immediately. But sometimes you need to slow down. If you slow down enough, slowing down on its own self is going to reduce that emotion, right? Let's say what I usually do is that let's say I'm holding a plate of food on my phone and it drops. I'm not going to just react like it's on the floor, it's everywhere. Sometimes I usually just, or even if it's water self, like water pours on the floor, water pours on my book or something. I would just sit it out for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds. If I'm like, I look at it, and I'm like, it's not that bad. Like I didn't take the first instinct and like spazzed out or anything. I took some time to calm down, and I was like, it's not that bad. It's not as crazy as I thought it would be. So if you're being slow to react, it actually helps maintaining not only your anger but your emotions itself. Maybe you're sad or whatever, you hear bad news, and before you bust out, you take a few seconds to process it. Like, okay, this and that. Like, is she okay? Is she alright? This one now. So that is a framework for emotions in general, like being slow to react, and then take a deep breath and then ask yourself, is it worth it? So the main point I put here was just being slow to react during situations that might elevate your emotions or your anger or your sadness or whatever. So around the script, I finally did it. Of course, the main point here is that keep your emotions in check. I guess that's the main point. Or the main point is be slow to react. Be slow to react when there's a situation ahead, or like a certain problem arises. You always want to calm down and look at things logically. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. Oh, let me try an outro. Let's see.